Hello everyone, and welcome back to Age of Engineering with Emu Bear. Today, we are going to put the roof on the Industrialcraft building, and we will also be moving some of the Industrialcraft machines. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and put the roof on this building. I have decided we're going to do brick stairs, and we're going to make the roof out of this fancy oak. Hopefully, it's been properly weather treated, or we're gonna have leaks in the roof. Anyway, so I'm just lining these stairs along the wall here, trying not to mess this up. So from here, this is just going to have these lines, and then on these corners, I want to get this very perfectly. Oh, darn it. Come on. Yes. Now, we want that on all four corners, so it's a nice angle. It's not going to be much of a roof. Probably will be identifiable because of the color difference between the brick and the stone. But it'll be okay. So the roof will match the floor. Right now we're just putting these planks down for the roof, and then we will get to moving the machines. Now, the thing is, in order to use the pump, we do need a water source nearby, and over there with that pump I have a 2x2 infinite water source underneath it so that it doesn't run out of water. Inside of the building, though, I don't know what I'm going to do. Could be possible to set up some fluid tanks, and we can do fluid tanks along with the pump from a distance. So let's say from here, how does that look, guys? Let me know in the comments. I would really love to know what you think about how that roof looks. I also took the time between episodes to discuss with Lord Flydon about my idea to make a nuclear reactor. Instead of arguing with me, which I thought he was going to, he immediately responded with, "When can we get this started?" I was a little surprised by how eager he was to do a nuclear reactor, because if they're made incorrectly, they are pretty dangerous. And I'm hoping that that solar distiller keeps its inventory, because it had a full tank of distilled water, which is useful to make speed up upgrades. And so I don't think I need the wrench for these cables, so I'll just zombie. So we'll just pick up these 2x insulated gold cables, and at some point I'll put a little dirt in this hole to get rid of the water there. So we won't need this bat box. I think I need, yeah, and so that broke that wrench, so I'll have to make another wrench. And wrenches are relatively simple to make, because the wrench is, where's the wrench? Ah, down here. It's just 6 bronze ingots. I don't think we have any bronze at the moment, but it's 1 tin to 3 copper, so actually, and that's not tin, that's osmium. There's the tin. So we'll grab, well, we're gonna need more copper. So, and I took down those machines, so I'm gonna have to go about this the archaic way. And so we just gotta let that smelt up, and actually, since we're throwing that in there, might as well just toss those. So we've got the bronze, 8 ingots of bronze, so I'm gonna need another one of our ingot casts. Pull 2 at a time. Because it's important to use a wrench with the IC2 machines, or if you, because if you break them with a pick, all you get back is the machine casing. All I'd get would be the basic machine casings, which means I would need like all these other materials in order to remake these machines. And the same thing goes with the more advanced generators. Like a regular generator like this one, and I don't think it has any fuel in it, we could just break with a pickaxe, no big deal. But if I were to break this with a pickaxe, pretty sure it would turn back into a normal generator, and then I'd have to go through all the process to make a local solar array, which involves a lot of generators and all sorts of stuff. So just collecting the rest of this bronze, and we'll come over here and we'll craft that wrench. And that's good. So this is still making steel, so I think we're gonna sleep the night away so that solar panel can get back to its work, and we'll let that finish producing steel before we take that apart. And we will go ahead and move these machines over to the new area designated for them and kill this skeleton in our little lake here. Could probably do that too. I could probably, maybe, I could set the pump under the lake and then pipe the water. I've never tried something like that before. I guess we'll try and see if it works later. I gotta figure out what we're gonna do for water transfer. But for now, we're going to just set up in here. So we've got our regular generator. We can set that over here in the corner, I guess. And connect a bat box to it. That maintained most of its power, looks like. And so put a few cables next to it. We'll set down the electric furnace and the extractor. We need to keep the macerator and the ore washing plant for now. We'll put down the metal former and the block cutting machine. And then we will put the diamond blade in there. I believe that's the strongest block cutting blade that you can get, and they don't break, so that's useful. And I think everything else we are holding on to do stuff with later. The solar distiller, if we're going to use that, it requires sunlight, so I'll put the solar distiller out here, and it did not. Oh god, I what is that whole 16 buckets of distilled water? That is painful. So yeah, that's gonna take a long time to get back, because I mostly just let that sit and run because I wasn't really using it. And so, in order for us to get started with a nuclear reactor, we obviously need the nuclear reactor itself, which requires 3 reactor chambers, 4 dense lead plates, which each dense lead plate requires 9 lead plates. The reactor chambers require a basic machine casing and 4 lead plates, and the basic machine casing is 8 iron plates. And so to start with those, I've already gathered all the materials needed. I just haven't refined the dense lead. So, but I think I have the crushed lead in my bag. So we can go to the electric furnace, toss that in there. I should go grab some coal for the generator. Stupid door. And I'm going to drop off the fancy oak planks and this junk that I don't need. We should probably pick this ingot cast back up so I can get this large plate cast out of my inventory. And we'll put this bronze in our storage system over here. We'll put the bronze here next to aluminum, brass, and ardite. And so, yeah, this will keep the blast furnace going. We've just got 3 more iron to be turned into steel. So the oh yes, I needed to grab coal. I almost forgot. That would have been bad. So the electric furnace is going to smelt all of that crushed lead ore, which was obtained through the macerator, and we'll put that, and that'll turn that into lead. Now we can use the individual ingots of lead in the metal former on the rolling setting and to make lead plates, or we can put a block of lead into this block cutting machine, and it will take about the same time, and it will give us 9 plates. So that's typically what I like to do. Since it is 48, 3 of the ingots will go in here, and we will have 5 blocks go in here. So we will get all the plates that we need, and I believe I have the basic machine casings that I need. I also got the advanced circuit that I told you guys about. Getting the empowered payless took a little bit of time, but we finally got our power set up for RF in order to use the empower to get it. So I have the means to make these rather well. All it takes is a little bit of lapis, a little bit of redstone, and of course it requires ardite, red garnet, and resonating redstone crystal. But all of those, and rose red, but all of those are relatively easy to obtain. For the palace, it requires prismarine shard, cobalt ingot, blue slime crystal, and raw fish. The raw fish, the cobalt, and the prismarine shard are really easy to get. The blue slime crystal can be a little difficult because you have to smelt blue slimy mud, which you can only get that if you have blue slime balls. So let's go ahead and check on that lead. Looks like it's done processing. So I don't have a crafting table out here. I should probably change that. In fact, I will. Let's grab... I don't have any blocks in these? Okay, I definitely need to do something better. Storage system. Alright, let's just come down here. Just grab a quick log. And we'll use this for our needs. for right now, but I'll put this in the Industrialcraft building so I don't have to come back here. So we've got the 5 lead blocks. And the 3 ingots. So now we can just run. Okay. Full on hunger. So now we can run back over to the Industrialcraft building. I'm thinking about possibly putting a logo over the door because we do have a mod called Chisels and Bits that allows us to basically break down a block into each single bit or pixel, and you can see some of that work here. Lord Flydon did these window panes using chisels and bits with clear glass from Tinker's Construct. He also made these stairs out of chiseled cobblestone using chisels and bits, and he made 2 staircases. He's going to the full 9 with this building, and I actually took the time to build these oil generators. I probably should have made an episode about it for you guys. I didn't think about it at the time. But, so we've got these oil generators that are all full of RF. We've got these oil generators that are all full on RF. We've got these canola presses that are all full on RF. So we've got pretty much unlimited supply of RF, as long as we have canola, and that can actually be upgraded to where it produces more power utilizing less canola. But we can talk about that at a later date. So we're going to go ahead and put these lead blocks in the block cutting machine, and we'll put these lead ingots in the metal former, and all we have to do is wait for those. Really burning through power. Definitely need to get things out. So we should probably sleep the night away again. The best part about getting this set up, also the reactor requires a generator, and that requires a furnace and a re-battery. So I'm going to have to go ahead and get a re-battery. That just requires a little bit of redstone. Where's the redstone? And, okay, there's a tin cable, so I don't have to make tin cable. That's good. Not seeing the... Oh, right, because it's in a storage drawer. I keep forgetting how Lord Flydon set up these storage crates, so then I go looking for stuff. Just need 2 pieces of redstone, and we just need 2 ingots of tin. Now, oh wait, we are also going to need some rubber, which means I need to... Where's my tree tap? Oh right, and I don't have any rubber trees either. So I'm going to have to go and find a tree tap, or possibly make a tree tap. We're going to have to go collect a rubber node from a rubber tree. There's a tree tap. So we can go collect some rubber from a tree, and, collect sticky resin from the tree, and then we can refine that into rubber. And then we'll be able to make our re-battery. And it looks like there's just one over there, so this will be relatively simple. So, while I have you guys, I'm curious to know if you guys have any requests about things that I cover in my videos. Where did that? Darn, where's it go? Alright, we're just going to break out our hatchet, break these. No, not there. Okay. sure didn't pick it up. And usually if you don't pick it up, it means that it got stuck in the tree. So we're just going to hop over here. And take a look. I'm not seeing it up here. Well, that's inconvenient. Maybe we can find another rubber node. There we go. Can't reach it. Of course not. So we'll just try this one. Rubber trees are wood. There we go. And this time we got the resin. So now we just got to hop back across the lake and just do a little bit of refining, and we will be able to make the core of our nuclear reactor. Now we won't be able to use it just yet. There are some other steps that I need to take. And so what we can do is I suppose we could set down the reactor and I can show you what I intend to do with it. So, all that's done, all this is done. So these 10 need to go in here, and 36 of these I need to go over to the compressor, because the compressor is what turns them into dense, pretty sure. Because you can't just craft them into dense. Yeah, you have to use the compressor to turn them into dense plates. So this might interfere with the process of the steel production. Hopefully it is almost done. That's good. And all we gotta do is get these, and while that's cooking, we can grab a little bit of cobble that we need. Got 8 cobble to make the furnace, and while that's processing, we're gonna craft the furnace over here. This machine runs so slow, it drives me crazy. This is why I like the speed up upgrades. Make the machines go faster. Come on. You're almost done. And then I can take this all apart and move it, and then we can set up the low voltage solar array so that it's providing power to the system, and then I can put the steel production away. Alright, so we'll let the compressor work on those, so we have the air cells prepared, and then we'll go ahead and take that down. But we're gonna get started. So we just gotta take these tin plates and run them back through the rolling to turn them into tin item casings. And we go to the extractor and throw in the sticky resin to get rubber, and place down the crafting station. I'll go ahead and put it in this corner over here. And that got us rubber, and this got us the tin item casings. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for you guys. So we've got the 4 tin item casings. Whoops. Skipped a step. First, we put rubber on the insulated tin cable. Then we put down the tin item casings, put down the redstone, and then the insulated tin cable. That gets us 3 battery. Now, the furnace with basic machine casing and a re-battery makes a generator. I take these other basic machine casings and encase them. So now we've got 3 reactor chambers. Now I take those 3 reactor chambers, the generator, and the dense lead plates like so. And thankfully, since this is a crafting station, it will keep that in there and show you what we're crafting while I get into my bag to grab the advanced circuit. Now with the advanced circuit, this completes it and turns it into a nuclear reactor. And this is the core of the reactor. So I'll set this down over here for just the moment. And so with this, as just the base core, it allows these 3 terminals to be open. Now what I can do is put a fuel rod here and a heat vent here, and it will produce 2 million EU over the course of 20,000 seconds at a rate of 5 EU per tick. And so what that means is, so it would be just one of these, so it's a bit off, but it's relatively simple. I believe we're low on iron, so I'll have to go mining to get the iron. But we'll be able to make the heat vent, and so the nuclear reactor is modular, and you want to make sure that you have a decently effective reactor, or efficient reactor, because if the reactor goes unstable, well, it kind of explodes. And when I say explodes, I mean this thing will turn our entire area here, probably not the entire area, but the majority of it, it will turn it into a giant crater. So that's a little dangerous, but we're going to work with that. So like I said, we're going to get things set up how I was talking about in episode 2. I need to get the materials to make the thermal centrifuge, because we need the thermal centrifuge to make the fuel rods for the nuclear reactor. And so with that, so I'm going to go ahead and explain the process. So we'll take the water from the pump, and the water from the pump will go into the ore washing plant. And now the ore gets ground up in the macerator and goes into the ore washing plant to be purified into the purified dust. So you've got the crushed dust, which turns into the purified, and then I'll show you the uses, and it goes to the thermal centrifuge, and it goes through the process of the thermal centrifuge, and it'll give you like a tiny pile of something, as well as the dust of the material that you're utilizing. And so say the uranium that we'll be doing will go through the thermal centrifuge and give us 5 uranium-238 and 2 tiny piles of uranium-235. And we need those to make enriched uranium nuclear fuel, which requires 3 tiny piles of uranium-235 and 6 uranium-238. So this will be a relatively good thing. And it will be absolutely helpful. And then we can get started and work on our nuclear reactor, and I can make it so that it will power our area. So I think that'll be all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my explanation of Industrialcraft, and I hope you enjoyed the making of our roof. Please feel free to let me know if you enjoyed making the roof. If not, also let me know. I would probably put some torches on top of this so we don't have anything spawning on top of it. But I think that will be all for today. So enjoy the rest of your day, and feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. And take care. Bye-bye.